Okay, so the Bosch Professional GLL30 laser level showed up about $64 on Amazon. It's just ahead. This is my camera tripod. You can buy a Bosch, what is essentially a camera tripod, for about $35. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take these outlets, and it's actually hanging back here for the moment, and I'm going to tip them on their sides, and they're going to go somewhere in this area here. And then, of course, over here on this side, we have this one. And so GFCI, it doesn't really matter, but I want to establish and tip this over on its side rather than vertically. We're going to go horizontal. So as a demo, so what we're going to do is that the line that I need to hit is right here. So rather than like transferring that over and hoping that everything is up pretty much on the same plane and maybe double checking a few things, I can just take the head of the laser and then just swing that over, and now I have my marks. I'll go ahead and tape that here, here, and here just as another point of reference, and that way I know where to install the 2x4 to install the GFCI outlet. I think my channel is becoming a Bosch commercial or something because I keep buying their stuff, and I am just digging on this thing. So I realized when I installed these electrical boxes that I put them in, I inset them too deep. I actually had them going flush with the framing, and that's definitely not how that goes. And you can see on the corner here, there are tabs as spacers. So that is, in theory, where it is that you want to install the box. So I removed them, and we got some bent nails, but I think I can get those back in. I straightened them up a little bit. So what I just need to establish or maintain is the level line for the switches. So once I removed the box, I was like, oh, I didn't mark the wood. I don't know where this thing goes, right? So I just simply just keyed it off of the box that's already installed, which is fine, and then re-leveled my laser, and now I'll just line that up and reinstall. So the weather today is forecasted to be 100 or slightly above, and we had enough of a plan and our parts in order to go ahead and run wire today. So 4:30 this morning, Michelle and I got up and we got after this project. So the wire has now been run, and if we look in the background here, we got a three-way switch going here. We've got a single over here. This will run the vanity light. We have a matching vanity light over here, and sneaking around the corner then is our final light for the closet. And I left everything in the ceiling. I haven't poked holes in the ceiling or actually done any final placement for where our lights across the vanity will actually go. That wire was just stuck in those holes because I pre-drilled them and just wanted it out of the way. But there'll be some boxes and whatnot that span across that area. And let's go take a look at the attic and get an idea of what happened up there. So during the whole run, I don't know how electricians do it, but we labeled, right, all along the whole job here. We were communicating. I was yelling down from the attic. Probably could have used a phone, but it's just another wire to manage. And all these have been labeled to where they actually go to. And that's how we handled it. Located the main power. This is going back to the circuit breaker. And I did that with a tone generator. We'll take a look at that here in just a sec. So everything in the attic is completely different than what you think it's going to be when you finally get up there. Everything is covered and you got wires all over the place. You know, it's one of those deals. That being said, I did isolate what I thought was the main line that had originally come into the bathroom. And I wanted to isolate that, and I was hoping to not have to put another junction box right above us to lengthen that wire. And I got really, really lucky. But how I determined which wire I was actually working with up in the attic was like this. So right now, this is a live bare wire. I've just turned it on just so I could film this. I've got this tone generator on here. We got these alligator clips that are connected, and you can see here that the light on this indicator is showing lit. So right now it's generating a tone through that circuit. What I did was I climbed up into the attic based on my previous research, and you turn this dude on, right? And what it's going to do is sense that tone in the wire, right? There was a little bit of crosstalk between a wire that was running very, very close to that, but it was inconsistent, and I always got a consistent tone off the wire that I was actually locating. And long story short, it was the right wire. That is the main power going directly back to the circuit breaker, and I was able to run that down into this wall. So that worked really, really well. So while you're walking around with a camera in your hand, don't forget to turn the circuit breaker off again. And old number 14 is our guy, right? So we need to kill him, and he doesn't light up again until we've got this thing all properly wired up. So let us see what we can see. So my 6'2", 180-pound self crawled back into that far corner, and it looks so different from down below, right, doesn't it? I use these, I could pre-cut these pieces of plywood so that I could lay them across the joists, and I sort of like, you know, laid one here, and then I laid one on the next run, and I laid one on the next run, and I G.I. Joe crawled my way back there as we were running the wire. And in this case, the yellow wire is the new stuff and the white wire is the old stuff. You can't really get a perspective about what it's like back there in that corner, but it's horrible. So we got the job done. So for some reason, I spend a lot of money on tools, flashlights included, but for whatever reason, I do not spend a lot of money on headlamps for some reason. And I didn't spend a lot on this one either. This was $13 off Amazon. This thing is amazing. It really lights up. It's got a rechargeable battery on it here. It's just a micro USB connectivity, right? So that's how you charge it up. And it's got these 4 modes. I'll try not to blind us all, right? There's bright, a little dimmer. This one is a different set of lights, and it's got this stupid strobe on it. I don't know what you would use that for, but it has it. And then the next click is off, but man, that works really, really well. For 13 bucks. It hasn't caught on fire in my head yet, so good deal. Yeah, I mean, so if you're going to do that attic work, right, get you one of these lights. It's like indispensable, and it is adjustable too on your forehead. You know, if you're a fisherman, you know, it'd be amazing for night fishing, which I happen to be a fisherman, and I do work in attics, so I've got dual use on this light here. So these bits go by different names. I typically call them a paddle bit, but Wayne was telling me about these, and you do a lot of paddle bit work in this remodeling stuff. And I gotta tell you, man, these things are life-changing, right? I mean, if you've used a paddle bit before, just the standard, you know, looks like this. You know, there's a standard one for you, right? I mean, this is nothing to write home about. And in fact, I hate them. They get the job done, but I really do not like these bits. These are completely different. Look at this this tip on here. It's threaded, and it actually pulls the paddle in. And of course, you've got these scoring. It's life-changing, right? And Wayne was telling me about them, and I said, you know, whatever. I think this set was like $10, you know, from Bosch. My channel is becoming the Bosch channel here lately, and I love these things. So if you've never considered it, go ahead and pop for the $10 to pick these up. Not this kind, right? Something different, right? It's got to be the Bosch version. You will love it. These bits used in conjunction with this rig, and I believe this is called the Freak. I don't actually know. I think it retails for about 150 bucks. This thing is life-changing too. There is so much power in this thing, and the battery lasts for so long. I mean, I just almost never charge this, and I don't even think about it anymore. But I won this, so I don't know a lot about, you know, like actually where you can get it and all that stuff. But this drill slash driver, you see it has that 3/8 drive on it, in conjunction with these paddle bits, amazing. I have to go to Home Depot again. God, it is so hot out here. I hate winter. I just hope it doesn't leak. Man, I'm just fixing a drink. I'm not going to Lowe's again. They prepackage their hardware. I don't need 20 of something. I need like 4 of something. I did all this build out. Now you want to change it? Yeah, if we need to change something, now's the time. Oh, I gotta go to Home Depot. There's no way I'm doing that. I just need to think about it. Let the person who's never spoken ill about their neighbor cast the first stone.